Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fantastic Comics Presents. This is our 25th episode. Whew, a milestone. It's a special episode. It's a special issue, if you will. These are the ones to always pay attention to. Let me introduce to you my co-hosts. First, we have Pro Anti. Hello, how are you, ATN?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, you are? What are you doing right now?
I'm packing.
You're packing?
I got both the humidifiers set up in here so I can turn off the swamp cooler and my books will stay humidified. I'm getting ready.
And just to remind everybody, where are you going?
Texas.
This is one of those hot spots right now, right? I'm not going to get into it. I just want to really quickly say that, right?
Yep.
And what are you going to do? You're just going to follow the guidelines, just, 25 feet away with a mask and a helmet and all that other stuff?
Well, I'm just going to go to the bookstores and follow their rules and so I don't get kicked out.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to whatever.
So you are actually packing right now. I mean, up until this moment.
I'm talking to you right now.
All right, up until this moment, you have been packing.
Yeah, sort of. I've been getting things together. It's going to be a long trip, 2 weeks. Got to water the plants. Got to water the cactus. Got to have the humidifiers going. Got to do a lot of stuff. Got to cancel eBay stuff that might have sold while I've been gone.
All right.
Well,
let me introduce everybody else to another co-host of the show.
Yes.
Here we have Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Jefe.
Let me get that off. There's her name.
Hello.
So we are going to. How's it been going, Jeff? You've been working again.
Yeah, it's been going great.
Are we going to stay open?
Leave it at that. Huh?
Is there like a possibility we're going to have to close down again? I mean, it sounds like
you're not a bar.
No.
They're talking about like 3 straight days of bad situation and. It's all going to be closed down, and we're already like at 2 days or something.
Yes, but I think that it's primarily involving places where you have to take your mask off to conduct business, like
the dentist,
eating, drinking. The dentist. Well, let's see. Yeah, dentist.
But they got their thing.
It's a hell of a thing. Yeah, they do. If they do. Anyway, I'm not being paid enough to talk about the virus.
No. I need
Fauci money. I need Fauci money, or I'm out.
Is there going to be a second stimulus? Because that's what I've
seen. These are all the things.
I mean, it's in the work. It's in the. They're talking about it.
I know Nancy's working on it.
I need that stimmy.
Old Nancy.
All right, here we have McDrawley Culkin right here. Hello, everybody.
Man. So
if you're interested, at McDrawley Culkin, if he's in the YouTube,
it's gonna be a 5-piece.
Yeah. Well, no, not really, because we're here to wish ATN goodbye.
Bye.
We're saying hello now.
Have fun.
And to him, we're saying goodbye.
Mm.
The last few episodes have been.
You say goodbye, but I say hello.
That's a Beatles reference, isn't that?
No. Not for me. No. I don't know.
He always does that.
I don't know them.
You don't know that?
But when someone says goodbye, I say hello. That's just how I do. That's just me. I don't know these Beatles.
Hello.
Hello.
So, for the time being, we're kicking ATN off the show.
Yep, that's right.
Kicking.
He has had nothing to offer. He won't do the extracurricular work I've been asking him to do. And he just says, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to Texas, and I don't care if I die. And I said, okay, fine. If that's the way it's going to be, I'm going to have to get someone else to be a host with me and Jeff, and we're going to make this a little bit more...
Because I cannot be relied upon.
No, that's true. But this person can, and not only that, they've come through in spades already. Is that I don't know. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Say hello to Bruja.
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 Hello, Bruja.
So, Bruja's going to take the place of ATN for a while.
Pro anti.
Pro anti.
Uh-huh.
Anti-auntie.
It's a liar's thing. Can't help it.
That means.
Oh,
And we're gonna focus more on comic books. We're gonna have a lot more. We're still gonna do fantastic comics. Obviously that's the show in the corner over there. But we're going to just kind of have like a conversation about comics, let it see where it goes, and not really focus too much on all the extracurricular activity, unless we really have to.
Are we going to talk about poison elves every week?
No, that's going to be it. I'm going to change that as soon as he's gone.
He did that for me as a way of smoothing out the kicking out of, right? That thing. Yes, the Mutant Menace knows. The Mutant Menace knows.
Wait, what is the Mutant Menace? That Liars album is a perfect album?
They have like 5 perfect albums, in my opinion.
I don't know.
So
Pro
Eli,
anti.
He is in.
I don't know who the liar.
Where do you live again? Anti pro anti.
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Occasionally he'll be quirky.
I'll be quirky.
Yeah. ABQ, man. ABQ.
One of my really, really good friends from high school lives there and was, in fact, the poet laureate of New Mexico, the inaugural poet laureate of New Mexico.
Wow.
Shout out to Hakeem.
That's a thing.
It is. I mean, it is now.
Yeah.
Okay, I absolutely expect us to always go off the rails when we're...
Look, if you make
even
rails,
if ATN's not
if
here.
there were rails, people are going to dive off. That's
if you
the way
chop
it goes.
rails, ATN will stick around.
Pretty sure the continuum is around. You will.
Well, am I done? Am I gone?
You're
kicking me
relieved of
out?
your duty. We'll do some other stuff in the meantime, but let's not forget, you can still get a lot of ATN action if you follow us on the Sci-Fi Fantasy YouTube channel.
Damn,
it's
I need to do
also
that still.
Sci-Fi Fantasy Read Along.
There's another
YouTube
thing I need
channel.
to do.
We're also on are we on Spotify? Yeah, we're on Spotify and all those things, whatever you use.
There's none of them that you can't find us on, I don't think.
But if you're a YouTube person and you're always on it anyway, just click on it. You can also hear ATN and Jill do Sabriel and someday Lyriel and some others, and Leviathan Wakes, which is what's that TV program it's based off of?
Terrible. Don't watch it.
Oh, I thought that TV show was good.
No.
I had heard it was good.
No.
It's on Amazon, whatever it be.
Not good.
Come on, Shar, that's what you're here for.
Is it still a Garth Nix show?
We're talking about the other one.
We moved on to Leviathan.
Yule jumped his own rails.
Well, you said Leviathan Wakes.
Yeah,
that
true.
one.
You did.
That's right. We are the entertainment moguls.
It's called
and
The
let me tell you.
Expanse.
Yes, The Expanse. Yeah,
not good.
Branwyn really liked it.
Bramwin can have that opinion.
Everyone can have opinions. That's just
it's all right.
One that I remember. That's just one that I remembered.
It was an unget-throughable season 1. How's that?
Wow, I thought that was supposed to have been
but
good.
That was the
that's not the only
Network
person I've heard
season. Say that. That was the Sci-Fi Network.
Yeah, but so is the second season. And
now
so I
it's
don't think I can
Amazon.
sit through 2 seasons before it gets good, if
Waiting
it ever
for
gets
that
good.
Jeff Bezos money to kick
I don't
in.
think it's going to get any better. I mean, I can't stand
Well,
some of
no,
those
I mean,
characters.
Is it a
Oh, wait,
sci-fi
are they
show before it
different
was
from the book
FY,
characters?
or
what
was
you're
it
saying?
actually sci-fi?
No, it was both. It's Sci-Fi Channel and sci-fi
Sci-fi.
garbage. It's not a well put together book.
Damn.
Oh, wait.
It sounds
You don't
pretty
like
bad.
the book,
The book was garbage.
but you're doing a podcast about it?
Yeah, we did it. We
They
were like,
hated doing it.
Oh,
They hated
this
it.
is horrible. This is horrible. Yeah. We tried to take it seriously, and then we couldn't.
I like
and
Veep. I think Veep is funny.
Can I share something
Also,
with you before you
I
leave?
thought Space
ATM?
Force. I
Yeah,
thought
go ahead.
Space Force was Veep. And
All right, so I'm going to share screen, everybody. So watch out. Check that out.
Woo! Finally.
Finally, some shirts to buy that have me on it.
Finally.
So
Finally.
this bonfire, they do it for like 2 weeks and then or 3 weeks or whatever it is, and you buy them if you're interested. You can get them in different colors, like this red, woo,
Whoa.
or pink. I think that was
Ooh.
sharp.
Ooh, no,
yeah.
because I would
Yeah.
just look naked. I would look naked.
If you want to go the Dodger route, that's pretty sweet for me, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that'll show your pit stains glorious.
Yeah, that will. You're right.
Surprisingly, you'd think I would sweat a lot in the armpit area, but it's just as stinky as all. But
Oh.
it doesn't show up. It's
Oh.
I did a
but-
good job that
The
way.
royal you.
The royal you. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't mean you in particular. I
So
mean,
I'm
I
gonna put
did.
that link in the in the chat. So if anybody wants to support Yule,
Why are you a heel?
because it's a wrestling terminology.
have you met him?
I don't know what it means.
It's short for shit heel.
I don't know what that means either.
Bad guy.
I'm a bad
Oh.
guy. Am I a bad
Fuck
guy?
the bad guy you love to hate.
That's the premise.
That's
so,
the idea. I
yeah.
mean, if you're a good heel, then
So
that's
this
the
is
idea.
the first.
Otherwise, you're just an asshole.
So this is like all wrestling
Yeah.
council related. So if you're a wrestling fan and you're a fan of mine, these
you
might
know.
be things to buy. But I mean, there's like tens of 20s of people that know who I am, and But if I could get any single one of them and any single one of you to buy my shirt more than the Wrestling Council one, that would be awesome. But they have also shirts that you can get. Anyway, it's all bonfire. Anyway.
Well, good job. I'm glad to see that you have provided your fans
Oh,
with
no, listen to
merch.
this. Hold
But
on.
where's the link for that?
It's in the comments right now. Or in chat, I mean.
I see
I
it.
don't. But what if you disdain chat and?
Oh, I'm
everyone
sorry.
in
If
it
you're
and
if
don't
you're
look at
following
the
this
chat
after the
ever?
fact, it'll be in the descriptions down below.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, I kind of say it down below, but I mean comments
Link-
now and then
Link
down
in my
below.
link in
Yeah.
my bio.
Exactly. And I'm going to start doing the hard push going forward starting after tonight, so tomorrow. So
Hard
it's
push.
all hard push. I'm like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to talk smack on super...
Is that one of your wrestling moves? The hard push.
The
Is that a
hard
finisher?
push.
Is that a finisher?
It is for me. I'll put my back
Nice.
out. Oh.
Hard. I got maybe 2 hard pushes in me, and that's it.
We want a Gizmo shirt. Well, we're going to be working on that.
I have one.
Yes, there have been them in the past. There will
There
be
have
again.
been limited edition. I have a Gizmo shirt.
Well,
I
didn't
have
you
I have a
Pochi
Pochi shirt.
a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
What was that,
Actually-
Bruja?
Didn't you show a Pochi shirt a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I showed. There's a few of them that are out there.
Oh yeah, I have a Gizmo.
We're working on
I have a
those
Gizmo shirt.
again. Getting those things printed are, if you either do it up front where it's cheap, or you have to have a situation like this. So maybe we'll do this bonfire thing if it works out. There you go. Challenge put out there, everybody. Go ahead and buy a heel Yule T-shirt. I'm going to put it in the comments again. You can follow that link.
What she
and
said.
what did she say?
She was pointing. So we're playing Hollywood Squares essentially. It was, hey, that guy.
That
Oh,
guy.
look,
It's
this
tough
guy.
at first,
Talks
going
a
like
lot.
that.
That's what you want.
Yeah, it's difficult. That guy doesn't. Wait, no, that guy
So-
doesn't talk as much as that guy.
No.
Maybe if this does well, we'll go and we'll take the Gizmo shirt and say, you know what? There's a certain amount of time where you can buy these, and then they'll be printed later on down the line. So like
TikTok.
it takes a while. That's why
Pre-order.
you kind of want to order them up front.
Oh, so you
Pre-order.
could do that Gizmo clock T-shirt. That's like the clock
Mhm.
face. Right with the
One of my faves is that
limited
Vincent.
time only.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
oh,
Vin-
mm,
yeah
very
the
good,
Vincent
yeah.
one because it's a
Oh.
clock.
Yeah, I like that one. That's
Time.
That's Poachy. though.
It is time.
It
You're
is
right.
time, everybody. ATN.
Yes.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. You got me to get my butt in gear to do those videos back in the day. You did all the editing. We got the live stream going, and it was all on your end, and then you forced me to do it, and then here we are today.
Here we are.
So I couldn't have done it without you.
and you look very comfortable.
and
That's
we'll,
the chair.
we'll do something else later on down the line, I'm sure. If it's only just another
No,
book or something.
what if you don't come back to this at some point? In
We'll bring
some
him in. We'll
regard.
have specific episodes where we try and get him in. But we got to be a little bit more geared towards ATN, or else we're just wasting his effort.
Yeah, exactly. No.
So horror movies it is.
Yeah, he loves horrors and horror movies.
What did you say about whores?
Mm.
I'm thinking Taxi Driver. We start with Taxi Driver.
That's a good horror movie.
Leaving Las Vegas.
That's an Oscar award-winning horror movie.
I like to refer to people as leaving Las Vegas whenever they're alcoholics, just because it brings such good imagery to my mind.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
All right.
classic Cage
Anyway.
work.
All
All
right,
right,
I'm gonna go check
and-
the mail right now. I'll
Thank
send
you.
you a text
Yeah.
message if everything
Good.
went well. Bruja,
Good.
thank you for joining the show. It's good to see you.
It's always good seeing you.
This guy down here, I know your real name. I know your real name.
Ken.
Yep. And Yule, take care, buddy. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys in 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you in 2 and 2.
Yep.
The Chuck Woolery special.
That's right. All right, first let's say hi to chat, okay? Let's see. Bruja, Fantinuum, Moby,
Wait,
Jilby
Bruja?
Pill.
That doesn't count. You can't be in the chat. MB.
If you are in
ATM
chat right
used to
now,
always do that.
If you can do me a favor and hit the like button if you're enjoying any aspect of this show, that kiss off that we just gave ATN, it's totally worth it.
yeah.
Diablo Hashcraft,
If you hate
hi.
ATN, you got to give this a like. He's
Go-
gone now.
Gotham City Comics. I know I saw Corey. Let's see here.
Menace is here.
Oh, there she is. All right, excellent. I know. Now we're gonna lose Corey as a viewer unless we can do something that really speaks
Oh
to
yeah,
her.
we lost Natalia too. Who
Oh
would
yeah.
occasionally show up. I'm sure she's gone now.
But we're gonna be gearing a little bit more towards the comic books a little bit more often, and also less bitching about the store. We got
Also-
Eli in chat.
How many people subscribe to the show?
Well, we have over 5. We're almost at 600 subscribers to the show.
583.
Yeah.
And there are like 8 to 9 people who regularly show up in the chat. So
Right.
maybe we shouldn't necessarily focus on those losers. And
Well,
like,
we
the
have
other
11 right now,
500
and you know,
Continuum.
I
well,
think
you know,
I just
hey.
said it. I mean, I thought it was
Menace
pretty clear.
was or is still in chat.
Hey, look,
That's awesome. I haven't seen
And
him
he
in here
knows
in a
how I-
long time.
he knows how I love him.
So there you go. We lose one, we gain one. We lose one, we hopefully we gain 2. You know.
Hey.
But I just wanted.
love
I
it.
mean,
I love
you know.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
saying,
great.
the vast silent majority is out there.
Dude,
Also,
Kate
it's
Titus is from
lunchtime.
Japan, and
It's
he's right now.
lunchtime in Japan.
Or they're
I
here right
remember
now?
that. I remember that.
That's right. They're all talking to each other. This is good. All right, excellent. I think I got... Oh, not leaving. Excellent. I know, we've got stuff to say. I'm just joking. And we've got people drawing now also. All right. So I have a couple things that I want to say that are store related.
Is this another guessing game? This drawing
No,
situation?
It probably is, at least a little bit. Oh, Devo's here. Excellent. Dislike. Oh,
Devo.
Dislike. Yeah. That's short for a real super long name.
Are we not men?
Are we not men? Bruja, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
We are Devo.
I mean, we've totally dominated this stuff. Why
Got a
don't we?
lot of comics, so hopefully
Got
I
a
have
lot of
something to talk
comics.
about.
Where'd you get all those comic books?
From you at Fantastic Comics, half price books, finding them all around. You know, just picking them up wherever I can get them.
Now, up until recently, you were a full-time employee, right? Working at half price. So you weren't like going out and just I mean, you had it all coming to you.
Well, I had a particular advantage with my employment that made me see a lot more comics than people generally do. So the access was nice at my job.
Yeah, and you were right next to a comic store that closed a lot earlier than you guys. And for some reason, they don't usually come any farther than your store. You tell me, oh, look at what I got. Look at what we got in here. I'm like, oh, that's rough.
I always tried to tell him to go over to... I did not pay anything for comics. I told them straight up, go over to the comic shop.
Yeah, I know what you guys would normally pay for things, and I know, the dollar or two more to offer, know.
So
but
like if it's a good comic, it'll sell fast.
Right, and the other thing is, like, having worked at Half Price Books and knowing you guys were right next door to me, it also affected my offer, because I might have salivated over a comic book and maybe offered somebody $25 for it, but I know that you guys are going to sell it half of what no, you guys do, it's different than that, but you guys are going to probably offer like 10 if it's like really vintage, if right?
It takes a really, like, this store that I have right here, this I think was listed at like $90 on Abe Books, and I think we ended up paying maybe $5 for it.
$5, damn.
It's really hard when it's a used place and the turnover for the product that you get is next to nothing, because there's a comic shop right next door. Yeah. So most of what people were looking for, it was just back issues of not necessarily collectible stuff, but just things they want to fill in for their collection. And the expensive stuff, it's used comics, and they get beat up pretty badly being sold secondhand at places like a bookstore rather than an actual comic shop. So the way that things get priced, it really affects how you can put money into it. And it's basically nothing at the bookstore, at least when I was paying, because there was just too much volume and you couldn't sell it fast enough. So just based on that, not to, give away too much, but you wouldn't be getting more than like a nickel a comic from me. And that's if it's just a regular half price in the top of the bin, not marked up comic. If it's a marked up comic, I wouldn't pay more than $1 per, unless I was sure I would get like $25 for it quick. Yeah.
Wow. 1 for 25. See, guys? When you come into a comic store and they lowball you, they're not really lowballing you. Go to Half Price Books. Yeah. See what a real lowball. Oh man, my whole long box is only worth $25. I was being nice saying 25. That's because you had all these X-Men right here. But if you didn't have these, I might have only offered you 10 or 5.
Yeah, I had all sorts of people that they would have their short boxes with everything lined up with all of the eBay offers that are currently marked up, and they had an expectation of how much they would be able to get based on that. And it was always just like they died when they saw the offer of it being next to nothing compared to what they thought they would get for it.
Right. Well, what they don't understand is that we're a bookstore and not a comic book store. So people that like a very small segment of our shoppers are coming in to like actually look for collectible comics and spend money on that. Whereas at a comic book store, 100% of your market is interested in comic books. So the chances of you getting someone who's interested in collectibles and expensive collectible comics at that is much greater. So, comics are just a tiny, tiny fraction of Half Price Books business. That's why we don't put any time or effort into it. Like, as a rule, like I have tried to push back against that, but they're not really.
I want you
not
guys
really
to
that
check
interested.
out. I'm going to highlight the fact that we have straight from Facebook 2 Michaels in a row. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey.
Michael Askren is like an day one customer,
But
long since removed.
Is Michael Hanks
Nice to see you.
in the Tom Hanks family, like the Bay Area Hankses?
Yeah, and also,
I mean, is that not?
and also, COVID.
Is that Tom Hanks, King Tom Hanks, in that picture? Is that
Oh, that's the worst.
King of the Bay?
So that's a little bit about Bruja.
Jonathan Groff and Hamilton.
I like Tom Hanks, and it's Chet Hayes, not necessarily so much, but Colin Hanks is all right. But whoever this Michael Hanks is, I'm sure he's great too. Love you, buddy.
Yes, there are 2 Michaels on Facebook. I know, it's amazing. Were you there that day when oh no, it was a
Which
customer.
Which one of them is the Michael motorcycle turn the key and watch him pee? Is that one of these Michaels or neither of them?
I don't believe so. I don't remember any Michaels in the store that were like, hey, I'm like super hot shit, Michael dude, or anything like that. That they would, know me. No, me.
In the biblical sense.
No.
Oh, no.
All right, I'm just trying to look and see what's going on. All right, cool. So if you want to ask where do you live? By a BART train.
Yeah. Do you want me to shut the window? You want me to shut the window?
No, it's hot, and I really don't care. This isn't
hot.
for. Oh, it's not.
I mean, I could shut it. I wouldn't.
Can you hear my fan going?
No.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't do that. That's rude.
I
Is
mean,
that
now I can't hear it.
No,
You
you
want me
can't.
to turn mine on? I can turn mine on if you want.
Well, if you do, I can blame you and then turn it on.
Can you hear that?
No.
Really?
I need.
Here, let me move the mic closer to the fan. It's a good fan. It's a good quiet fan.
Oh, maybe you should have put a link in the chat so I know where to go.
No, well, what you need to do is just let it accumulate years worth of silencing dust that
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, I've cleaned mine recently. Oh, I'm a fool. That's what it was.
That'll louden your fan up. No, you don't want to do that.
All right, so it's funny that you should say that, Michael, about not knowing me in the biblical sense. I can totally understand. I was taking some pictures for some of the comic books that I was going to show off in a little bit, under the reviews.
Wait.
And I had done it in a state of
nude?
disrobe.
What?
Oh, geez.
But I was cropping the pictures And I was like, "Oh, Jill, you got to come and see this." I'm not
She
like
was
the
like,
selfie
I've
type of guy.
seen enough, frankly.
Well, and the thing is, she's all, no, she said, "Is this, did you, oh God, don't tell me that you put this on the internet." I'm like, "Oh God, no." I said, "I'm just cropping
Oh,
these
good
right
Lord.
now." God. I said, I would like to have had to be in a situation, though, to have to apologize for that one. No, I would not have liked to. I just think it would be funny to see me try and worm my way out of that if I was
I mean, yes.
from outside myself,
Sure,
basically.
Sure.
Yeah. Don't worry. If I show you any pictures of comic books, you will not see any part of me at all. Jeff, just to let you know, I have that David Bowie book in finally. I don't know if you still want that.
I sure do.
Okay. That was tough to get.
What book is it?
It's a Michael Allred David Bowie book. I don't know. I didn't look into it.
I'm
It's yours.
David Bowie.
He died, and I'm sure this is the whole thing up until or after or whatever.
Oh,
I don't think
Allred,
it's like
though. Come on. I mean,
what? I'm sure he's a super fan.
Love him. Oh yeah, he is. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
if you read what was the Red Rocket? Is that what it was called?
It was Red Rocket 7, I think is what it was.
Yes. I mean, that was very David Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of David Bowie in that.
And they were shaped like a record album also.
Some edition,
Somewhat.
like that was published many
Originally
times
that way,
in
right?
many editions, but
Yeah.
the one that I have is that big 12-inch.
Hardcover?
Yes. I got rid of all my I'm paring down. I'm selling so much stuff.
Are you going
Getting
on
rid of all of my extraneous editions of everything have got to go.
We're working on our website, guys, just to let you know. We're not just going to do eBay. And we're going to be doing the same thing. Just try and unload all the super good comics, so, we'll help.
Do you like Faulkner?
Personally?
Let me ask you. Yeah, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
personally.
lot. I don't know why I said
What about
that. No, I think he's
him impersonally?
I think he's a genius. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, well, his books ain't worth shit. I'll tell you that much.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I got nothing for any.
Well, I mean, if you have a first print of something, I'm sure it's worth something.
Yeah, well, yes, no, absolutely. I just mean, he's not in demand. Like, people are not looking for William Faulkner today.
Wait, Southern white men?
Weird, I know. I know, it's weird.
What's the customer situation like in the bookstore now that things are open again?
It's all right. I mean, it's kind of quiet, which is good. But we can only have 20 people in the store at a time anyway.
So you do have a limit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I was like so worried you just had hordes of people.
Oh God, no. And there aren't even hordes of people out in Berkeley. Like, Berkeley is pretty quiet because, like, I don't think Berkeley has done a good job as a city. Period. Period. But certainly not with this pandemic thing. And, like, there's stages of reopening and then closing stuff and not advertising when they reopened retail on the 19th of June, but they didn't really, nobody really knows about it unless they happen to come upon an open store. And also a lot of stores just didn't reopen. Even though they legally could reopen, they have chosen not to.
Well, it's hard when you know that depending on what you're selling, if you're part of
exactly.
You get it all online anyway. I don't want to go outside and get poisoned.
Right.
or not even that. I just don't want to do it. I'm comfortable doing it this way now. I'm working from home, and People are getting cooped up though, and do want to go out and do things.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
people want to get comics at least.
Oh,
and
everyone.
talk to me like not to me, but talk to a person for 3 minutes about what they like.
Everyone who comes into the store says like, "Thank you so much for being like." People are desperate for shit to do. Clearly, like, and especially if you're a book person and a bookstore person, like they want to browse. Like you can't do it online. Like browsing online, it's not a thing. It's not the same thing.
Same thing in the store,
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with comics. Like
you want to look at something.
You can buy the thing if you know exactly what you want. You can buy the things you want online, yes. But if you just want to walk around until something strikes you and then buy that thing, like there's no other outlet for that other than doing that. Walking around a store.
Or a comic store where there's a backlog of different things too, especially half price since there's such a rotating stock. Like that was definitely something that the
typically
customers always said, like, oh, I love that you guys always have different things on the shelf. So I definitely like I'll sit there and spend hours on Goodreads just falling into holes looking through recommendations. But there is definitely an appeal to places like comic stores with their dollar bins or half price with the rotating stock.
Yeah. Just browsing. Yeah. Like browsing a bookshelf is a thing that like people who want to browse a bookshelf, there is no other like there's no replacement for that. But the problem is that the amount of people who actually like want to do that on the regular and then we'll translate that into buying something. Like it's just a very small, like, yes, this is a thing that people love to do, but they don't always buy something.
Particularly when I was running the comics, that was always the thing that I was really frustrated at. It takes like 20 minutes to read a single issue, so somebody sits there for an hour, they can read a whole graphic novel and not have to buy it.
Sure. Yeah.
Which
not anymore.
To take that away from people, but
yeah, not anymore. No.
How long do you give those people that are? Yeah, it's like 5 minutes.
There's no sitting. We don't have chairs at all.
Yeah.
What did you guys do with all those chairs?
They're in the break room. But we don't like. Ostensibly, there's a 30-minute shopping limit, but there's no real way to.
That's been the roughest thing for me. I only let one person or that person and their people with them in.
Right.
I figure they're already with each other. I'm already screwed one way or the other.
Right.
So,
100%.
But, that's it. Nobody else. And, of course, your mask and everything like that. But when you kind of have to gauge, and I think everybody's been really cool. With the exception of like a couple people, everybody's like, I gotta leave with something. I came in, I gotta do it. Yeah, that type of thing. And everybody's been, super awesome about that. But, people that actually want to care about what they're picking up and not just buy anything, want to check it out for a second. And it's like, you gotta give them, the egg timer kind of situation, but it's all internal and, depending on if another person shows up also. And it's cramped in my store that,
I mean, we mentioned it to people in order to, make them think about it and then be considerate because you have no real way to enforce it. Like, I can't say, like, okay, you came in at 10:15, here's your purple tag, and then in 30 minutes I'll announce the thing that says, like, okay, purples, get the fuck out of the store. Purples, get the fuck out right now.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Like it does sound fun,
does
actually.
Sound fun,
or get to the counter. Really... Get to the register. Got all these purples running to the front with their books.
But like, that's just like, it's kind of crazy. Like, you can't really keep track of it. But I've never. We also don't ever get to 20 people in the store at a time. Like, it never, ever happens. So. Like, there just aren't enough people out and about in Berkeley. Like,
All of the videos and pictures that I see of Berkeley, Oakland are really like zombie bear.
I mean, there are people out. There are many more people out now than there were like 2 months ago, but there still are not people out just like fucking wandering around shooting the shit, doing their
Yeah,
thing.
just-
Like
They are in my
they're
county.
out
I live
on
in
missions.
county.
Oh yeah, well that's why Contra Costa
Yeah.
got shut down. I mean, it's my county too. It's where I live. I'm in Contra Costa right now. That BART train is going through Contra Costa. You can hear it.
Yeah, no, it's gross here. I stay inside.
I don't get that. Who's he drawing, everybody? Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Oh, I can't hear you.
Who?
Are you? Oh, okay. Phew. You moved your mouth. I didn't hear you for a second. I've been having headphone problems lately. That was scary.
Get a lot of vectors for.
Damn. Okay. We haven't talked about comics. We've just gone off the rails.
Shit.
Bruja.
Yeah.
How long you been reading comics? Is it only recently? Are you into it for a long time? What's your deal?
I grew up reading comics. My grandmother brought me to a comic shop for the first time when I was probably like 7 or 8. I started off on, the basics, like all of the X-Men, and Spider-Man was my really big one. And then I saw Adventures in Babysitting, and then I got really into Thor a little bit later. But then through my teens, when you start getting jobs and go to college after that, you just kind of fall off. And I came back in probably the last 4 years.
What are you, so you like Thor, I know that.
Oh, yeah.
It's right behind you anyway. What are some of your other books that you read? All right, so you're like, I'm going to go to the comic store, and I'm really looking forward to get this. What is it?
I really like characters that aren't superheroes. So a lot of the barbarian type characters and magic based characters are what tend to jump out to me. I particularly like Scarlet Witch. She's really accessible. There's a lot of her. So she's usually pretty easy to find, and there's a lot of content. So that's great. Because a lot of the smaller comics, they don't have long runs. So you'll find something that's really great, but then it's only like 4 issues, and that kind of sucks. But there are 4 really great issues, so that's always awesome. But, we just, like we were saying with Jeff, you go in for the browse and just see what jumps out at you.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to pull a couple comics out so I can show you guys what's coming out tomorrow. Oh, actually, I don't need to do it that way. Let me show you guys a video. I'll do it with the sound off so we can talk over it. Let me just do this. Sorry, guys. I thought I had it ready. Of course. All right. Here, I'm sharing the screen. Oh. All right. I just got to move that. All right, there we go. So this is, all right, right off the bat, there are a lot of comic books that I am leaving up over from the previous week. So Aquaman 61 came out, so I brought 60 back out. And there's also going to be some holes in here, and it's because Jeff has some of the shipment over at his place. And I don't have them in the store. So you're going to see other things representing them and stuff like that. So here's a lot of Batman. Some of it's filler for when I get those other books. Anyway, a lot more Batman. This is just, whew. Do you think there's enough Batman, Bruja?
That is a lot of Batman.
It is. All right, so here, Betty Page is new.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Let's see, who was that did that? That's done by, Carla Pacheco is the writer. I looked at the art inside, it was pretty good. And there's other covers. There's like a cosplay cover. So someone playing Betty Page, I guess. Oh, I didn't edit this. Sorry, guys. Oof, that was rough. All right, Captain Marvel. I only have a few of these left, and it has Wolverine in it. And that's one Catwoman. Supposedly the numbers suggest Catwoman only has one more on the shelf. Death Metal number 2. Woo, Death Metal! Anyway, some holes. Oh, Engine Ward. I didn't get a lot of those because Vault doesn't sell in the store. Even though try my best. I try my best. And you know what? This Eisma artist is pretty good.
And Vault has had good comics in the past, I have to say.
You know what? I've been looking at some of the Vault comics, and at least visually, they are... I was lumping them in with Scout, and I was lumping them in with, Aftershock and some of the other companies. And even though those other companies might have good people, Vault probably has the better looking books of all of those other companies. And I would... Look, I only got a couple of these in the stores, so, check it out. This Fantastic Four, that is the alternate cover. These are the on sale Wednesday alternate covers that are coming out. Does this entice you? Are you like a variant cover guy, Jeff? Are you a variant cover guy?
Never have been, never will be, baby.
But that's where all the Scotty Young covers are.
Well, also, Jeff likes those Ben Oliver, Jimmy Olsen variants, right?
I wouldn't care
for everyone.
Anyway, this is silly, right? Everybody agrees.
Everyone agrees that some covers are better than others, but I don't think that I don't put any particular impetus on variants. I don't think they're like essentially more desirable than the regular cover. It just depends on what's on the cover.
Right.
The fact that it's a variant does not make it desirable to me. Only who did it and what it looks like.
See, that's what I usually do. Is if I'm going to go for a variant, it's a specific artist. Like when they were doing
it's got to be something cool.
There was one specific artist I really wanted to get all the covers of.
I've got a Flash by Daniel Warren Johnson that came in.
The Marvel hip-hop variants, some of them were cool, some of them were stupid as hell.
Ooh, I just got the Doctor Strange one finally. I paid $10 for it. It was the Dr. Dre, the Chronic, the Mystic.
Yep.
All right, so this cover here, does it even look like
cool.
it's a comic book?
No, what is going on with that? Why
that is
it
the
looks
on
like
sale Wednesday variant copies of books.
It looks like a placeholder. It looks like a placeholder. It
really does. All right, so what else is coming out? Oh, these are all. Oh, Flash is pretty good still.
Who's the art director over at Marvel right now?
Oh,
who's the line wide art director?
All right, check that book out.
They should be fired.
Are you hot for that book right there, Jeff?
Which one?
Snake Eyes?
No.
By Senor Rob Liefeld?
Hell no.
Writing and drawing.
Double hell no. Like, I didn't care about it, and then once you said that he was working on it, I don't care about it.
I'm super excited.
What he's doing with the muscles this time?
Dude, it's awesome looking. It's super great.
I don't care what he's doing, because here's what I can guarantee.
Ooh,
whatever he's doing, it sucks.
Oh, look at that. That's like Alex Ross right there, that Immortal Hulk.
Oh, that on sale Wednesday one? Was that Alex Ross?
Yes.
He drew that?
It wasn't. That would be more of a Chip Kid thing. Spray paint something on it. At least Chip Kid can do that.
At least Chip Kids are not like just generated in Microsoft Word, which is what that cover looks like.
Look at that cover. Look at that cover.
Wile E. Coyote.
That's pretty sweet.
Is that Lola Bunny behind him? Who?
Oh, maybe. Maybe it's Babs. Babs and Buster.
Stop it.
Okay. I like those. Spider-Man's been really good, and I want you guys to know that I did that, sorry. And then the artist in this is Kim Jacinta.
Oh, I love Kim Jacinto.
It is probably
Jacinto.
Whatever.
Yeah. I have no idea who they are.
I don't mean whatever that way. I mean I respect last names, but I don't
know how to pronounce it.
So
I don't know who they are where
there
they're
you go.
from.
Jeff, would you like me to pull this for you? A little
Oh, that
Deep Sleep
DS9.
9.
Oh yeah.
All right, it's a mini.
Who's writing it? Wait, who's writing it?
That Clone Wars. I want that.
The Adventures.
Ooh, yeah.
Or the
Battle
Tales.
cover. Oh, is that Finn?
It sure is.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I want those.
Strange Adventures #3 comes out.
Ooh, Strange Adventures. Those are another one that I really like.
You like Strange Adventures?
Oh, hell yeah.
Wait, is that that's the like? Wait, no, I'm thinking of Strange Academy. What's Strange Adventures?
Good. Strange Adventures is the Adam Strange book.
Wait,
Tom King, Mitch Gerard's.
oh
Doc
right,
Shaner.
sure. I forgot that's what it was called.
Look at that giant size X-Men by Ben Oliver cover.
Ooh, but you know what that means? Jonathan Hickman.
It does. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing screen. Excellent.
Oh, Jonathan Hickman.
So that's what you can look forward to tomorrow. And on top of those placeholder variant covers,
2 Robot Mans. Robot Man meets Robot Man.
Wow. What's the first Robot Man from?
A comic strip called Robot Man.
Oh, no kidding.
You may have seen it in your Sunday paper.
It's been a long time since I've had a Sunday paper.
Well, it's been a long time since Robot Man's been published in a Sunday paper. So,
did you know that there's some Far Sides that are circulating right now?
yeah, and there's new Fart Side, I heard.
Oh, you're not a Far Side fan?
I love cows. I mean, Far Side's cool.
That's cool.
I was never a Far Side guy. I don't dislike Far Side. You know, it's not like Family Circle to me. In terms of one panel comic strips, I'll take Far Side over Family Circle. Family Circus. Family Circus? Family Circle.
Family Circus. Family Circle. I don't know which one. Jesus.
It's Circus.
It is Circus. Okay.
Anyway, there was a kid named Jeffy, and I hated it. That's all I know about that.
There was...
It was usually one panel, and that's what made me think.
I remember when I worked at Comic Relief, we sold... oh, Jesus. Who did Demon? Oh, Jason Shiga. There was a Jason Shiga Family Circus zine that he did, and you were following... I don't know who the kid is, the precocious little boy. And he had like murdered everybody, and you like follow him around like his crime scene and all that other stuff. Pretty hilarious. Jason Shiga, everybody.
Whatever happened with Demon? How many issues of Demon came out?
You know, that was a little disappointing. I was hoping that he was telling me that he was hoping that was going to be a monthly series that was going to go 24 issues, and I was like, Jason Shiga's going to have a monthly comic book coming out? That would be amazing, because it would get a person that would read Jason Shiga to the store on a monthly basis.
Every month, right.
That's like...
crazy, rather than every couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. And instead, Demon got published by First Second in volume form, and only the first issue came out, if I'm not mistaken. Although, I could be wrong, it might have been like one of those Patreon situations also.
Oh, it may have picked up.
I don't know. I'm just I'm allowing myself to not know the entirety of the story.
No.
I'm not blasting him. I'm just saying that's how I ultimately was able to buy it, and I have all 4 volumes at the store.
Wait. Oh. So there are 4 issues.
There's 4 volumes.
There's
just 1 issue, as far as I know.
Oh, but then okay.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's disturbing, but it is.
Because it's Pluto. It's Pluto. It's Pluto with Donald Duck's head. No one likes that, except for maybe Mickey Mouse.
Could you, instead of putting a tail there, put feathers? You know, maybe that will make it better for me.
No. Just
no, you should make it a snake. No, the tail should be a snake's head.
Okay,
You know,
let's
like
see.
some, and then it
So
should
we
have.
had Jill saying Family Circus is garbage, and then Duplicate Devo says true words, Jill.
Yeah,
And
agreed. I mean,
yeah,
I'm saying when it comes to one panel comics, I'll take Farsight.
Shiga rocks. It's true.
Also,
Jason
Shiga
is
rocks.
good. Oh, look at that little
I agree
dog.
with Moby on that one.
Speaking of dogs. All right. So let's talk about comics, guys. We can do this in like, I don't know, an hour
Let's
or
talk
two.
about comics.
Comics.
Hold on, let me do this. Just for anybody that's interested, this Saturday on Critical Blast, I will be having a conversation about, I don't know, comics. We're comic store guys that get together, and this guy hosts us, and we usually talk about diamond sucking and, you know, everything else being so wonderful. Done. All right, comic book Nick. Oh, I made that a scroll. Oh no, here we could do this. Boom. All right. What if capes ain't cool? What if?
What if?
What if? Let me see. Let me see. So the idea behind this is this. You've been reading comic books for a while, and maybe you're into DC, and maybe you're into Marvel. It kind of is like when you're reading, God, how can I? It's kind of when you're reading, you know, just company books, and they have to like toe a certain line and tell a certain type of story, and they can't really go crazy and tell things. I mean, already recently, this last week or two, there have been a number of comic book people that have said that they're going to be doing crowdfunded stuff. And when they talk about crowdfunding comics, they're like, I'm going to do that because I'm going to do all this stuff that I couldn't do for this company. You know, or maybe they don't say company, but they say, you know, the mainstream. And, or maybe that's why they go over to Image and do something also. And people have this like idea that they can't do like crazy wild stuff in the companies, and therefore they have to go and take it, you know, elsewhere. I don't necessarily think that's a thing that's true, because I'm like a big Grant Morrison fan, and when he comes and does mainstream stuff, I'm like, wow, he just does some such wild stuff that I'm never prepared for it when it's capes and tights and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's not a lot of those things going on, and, you know, eventually they become run of the mill. And even if something like Conan comes over to Marvel, it's still going to be kind of PG-13.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, you know, they might. I think like if they would have kept doing Marvel Max a little bit more, that maybe should be where Conan sits. But you know, they can do whatever they want with the things that they got. They got toys to play with. Although there are times where you can like see things like that. I didn't think I was gonna be talking about Conan. Anyhow, what do you do? What do you go and read when you're sick of reading mainstream comics? And that's what I'm interested in. So let me get these files ready. Sorry. Shara, let's start with you. I'm going to do this. Now, I'm going to probably interrupt you, and maybe Jeff will interrupt you if he's interested. We're going to talk about Klaus. Oh, Grant Morrison. Excellent. I totally forgot.
Klaus.
I love Grant Morrison. He goes and does, like I said, he does superhero comic books, but here he is telling us the story of, what, Santa Claus, right?
It is the
Klaus.
origin story of Santa.
What kind of, I mean, how does this read? All right, so when I think of Grant Morrison, I'm thinking like, oh man, he's going to do something really super trippy. He's going to make me think. I'm going to have to like super reread this so I can understand everything that he's laid out, and I might not understand it for a while. Tell me about it.
For a Morrison, it was a really light, fast read that was, I don't want to say there's not a lot of depth to it, but it's a Santa story, so there's only so many places you can go with it. But he does in fact get pretty trippy. There's some psychedelic history to Santa that he touches on. So
What do you mean psychedelic?
There's the moon.
Oh yeah.
There's
Well, let me see.
eating mushrooms.
Yeah.
Really?
He has a soup that he calls healing magic that is made of mushrooms. And then from that, he sings to the forest spirits. And he has a trippy ass fucking drug trip. So
Wow, really? All right, Santa doing drugs.
Yeah, it's not necessarily what you would expect with a Santa story, and it's definitely Grant Morrison, but at the same time, it's a nice, easy read for him. So it's definitely, for somebody who may not be familiar with Grant Morrison, it's a good intro read.
The art's pretty nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dan Mora is good.
What else has Dan Mora done? Does he like a Power Rangers guy or something?
I've seen him do stuff since this, with the big two, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I definitely have seen him do stuff since this. But this was the first time I saw him. What's this book?
All right, cool.
But he's really good.
So, all right, so
I imagine he's European, since you know.
So, what's the story? What's the story about this? I mean, what? I mean, it's about Santa, but is there like a main villain that he's going against, or is there a villain that he's going against?
There's a couple of villains. There's the Baron of the city that he's from, that he was banished from, and then there's the big bad super magic baddie. So there's a couple of things going on, but the Baron has a family for which he steals all of the toys and joy in the city, and everything in the city is taken to give to his son. And Santa here does not think that's right, and the whole journey is him restoring joy to his hometown.
Nice. And who are these guys?
Those guys are the Light family. He is basically talking to these forest spirits that saved him, and they come back a few times, and I don't want to give too much away. It's a really good book. I don't want to give all the spoilers away.
Sure thing.
Oh,
wait. Let's go back.
Yeah. Oh. But
no, go ahead.
Not terribly featured, but the way they're featured is really, really beautifully utilized in the art. So sparingly used, but they're a fun character.
All right. And Jeff, you've read this also, right?
Yes. I have.
And you're down with it too.
Yes. And it, like, there's been a couple of like one shots after that. Like there was this mini series or whatever, and then there have been like other.
They come out like in, I don't know, Christmas time, winter time.
You don't say.
No, well, that's funny. Interesting. Does he ever get a big red hat?
He doesn't actually get a hat, but we do get the story as to why he has the red and white suit.
Oh, really? All right, cool. I love Grant Morrison when he's doing stories like that. There was a Superman in action that he wrote where it's all about the T-shirt that he wears and how it gets like, printed out and, people wear it and it's all a symbol of hope and whatnot.
Definitely, it's a big part of the story as to why that's what he chooses. So I could definitely see if he's kind of into wardrobes. Yeah,
and he like, I don't know. He's very good. He's very good. And like it, as opposed to say happy, which is also like a Christmassy or at least wintertime story, which is probably my least favorite Grant Morrison thing ever written.
Boy, you know what? I think we should do an episode where we talk about the Grant Morrison we don't like. because
right,
all
well,
I
I'm
ever do
calling
is
happy.
yeah. I mean, it's all happy, right? I'm gonna have to struggle for some other ones, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
That's the
something
one.
else I could come up with.
Yeah.
Sebastian O kind of sucked. I'd
Yeah,
have
but
to reread it
still-
to really.
Right. Yeah. To know if it compared, because happy is bad. Happy is
Yeah,
just bad.
Happy's very
Oh,
mainstream.
yeah. But look at that.
You could leave the mainstream and still do mainstream. All right.
No, make their screen the big one so that we can see this bigger.
No, it's not gonna look so great, is it?
No,
All right.
no, make Shara's screen
Oh,
big.
I'm sorry. All right, hold on a sec.
Because that's dope.
Right? It's got some really, really great art to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like the story itself, it's kind of simple. I wish that there were at least a few more issues to it to be able to expand on a few things, but the art itself is
Oh, look at that wolf.
so worth reading.
Yeah. Wow.
And we have people in chat saying
This
that it's
is
good.
what happens when you forget about Christmas. It dies. There's a variant cover for you, Jeff.
All right.
I agree, Mutant Menace. Once and Future is excellent.
There's our, not the big bad, but the little bad.
Yeah.
We have a dissenting view on Happy, but that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah, it's fine. It's just
There.
I mean, on the Grant Morrison scale,
Mhm.
for me, it's on the low end.
It's just not what I would expect, But
You know,
that's fine. That's not my.
If anybody for some reason saw the movie that came out last year, the animated movie Klaus, this is pretty much the PG-13 version to the PG version of that. So, like, I liked it. It's a really good story, but it's definitely it could have used a little more oomph to it. But the art is really where it's at.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to go on to the next one, Shara?
Yeah,
I mean, Grant is very good at knowing his artists' strengths and playing to them.
All right, this is exciting for me, and I'll tell you all why. Because
Because you're
TKO has been giving me money every time someone buys something from them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you're a
It's
big Hall
awesome.
Notes fan, so
Is that a song of theirs? Because I'm actually not.
oh
Is that like TKO? Dun,
no,
dun,
no
dun,
Sarah.
Dun. Oh,
Never
Sarah. No, that's not them. Is it? I thought it was like Toto or something like that. Let us know in the chat. Garth Ennis, though, and Steve Epting, and Elizabeth
thinking of
Breitweiser.
You're thinking of Rosanna.
Oh, that I am, maybe.
Rosanna,
Wait, is that
Rosanna.
Sarah? Is Sarah really Hall & Oates?
Sarah, yeah.
That's your job to find out for sure.
No,
because Bruha's going to let us know.
My job's over because you found out for sure. I just told you for sure.
So now, okay, very good. I'll just believe you then. Garth Ennis is very well known. So here's a guy who actually gets his way. He gets to do Max comics for Marvel. If there's a Max comic, he's probably the guy writing it.
Yeah.
And if there's a Punisher comic, he's also probably the guy writing it.
Probably. They've had recently like Becky Cloonan and Matthew Rosenberg, but as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not really the big Punisher guy, and I think he's more of a secondary character and not like a main star.
1000% agree.
If I gotta read him, I'd rather read a Garth Ennis one, and he's not always my favorite either.
Garth Ennis did his work in that he took over that character and basically owns him for a generation. Like, he has written more Punisher stories than anyone in history. I don't think there's any question about that. And he's just he's the guy. He's the Punisher guy. Like,
I think there should be for
he
Punisher.
took the character over. Like, he's that Garth Ennis is only like corporate character. Like, the only comics that he's known for in a corporate setting would be Hitman, which is his own creation in DC, and Punisher.
And
everything
Preacher.
else he has ever done is that's outside of continuity of the big two, though. Hitman is technically in continuity.
Yeah.
Even though he created the character. And Punisher, he's just written so much Punisher.
Yeah, he's the guy. All right, so Sarah, oh my God, he's writing another comic with somebody with a gun. And it's a woman this time, and she's Russian.
I love it.
Is that true?
She's Russian?
Oh, there's another one.
And it definitely is a book for if you're a fan of the Punisher, this is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to check out, because it reads really, really tactically, and it is super based in the military portions of what the snipers were doing. So if you're a fan of things like the tactics of Punisher, this one's a really good read.
Now you can get TKO comics in book form, completed, trade paperbacks. You can also get them in issue form. They're slightly taller. They're more like Barrier if you got that Brian K. Vaughan comic.
It is larger than a regular comic book. Let me see here.
And you can read all of their first issues, I think, for free on their website. Oh, hold on a second. Let me get you.
That's very cool.
Little bit bigger.
I don't think anybody can see that, really. Let me do this.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, make them big.
I'm going to. All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
do it again. All this doing this stuff.
A little.
Bigger than a trade. And wider, too.
Yeah, wider, taller. It's a nice size compared to regular graphic novels, and
I hate stuff that screws up my size, though, in my comic
I know.
shows.
How do people not know this by now? Like, how do publishers not know that, like, we don't necessarily love things that aren't in the format? Oh, I'm a new publisher. I'm going to make my own format. Yeah. This is now the norm for TKO. Get on board the TKO train.
TKO train. I got the Joshua Dysart one when I was at the. I'm a big fan of his. He's good.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
his Swamp Thing is excellent. And his
what was that?
Unknown Soldier, right?
Unknown Soldier, so good.
Yeah, it's excellent. All right, so Bruja, why don't you tell us what Sarah is all about?
Sarah is all about a group of 7 female snipers, and it's based not on a true story, but on true groups of real Russian snipers. So it's not a historical story, but it is based in some really cool history. So if you're a fan of history, it's really good for things like that, because it covers all sorts of stuff in the Red Army and the Nazis and stuff in World War II. So it's really interesting because it has some ambiguities of war, and the main character has some problems with her own government. So there's a lot going on with some political opinions happening, and there's a lot of graphic stuff going on. It's definitely a rated R book, so that's always really fun.
And good art by Steve Epting, right?
Yeah, it's really, I really like this page. This page is super, super pretty.
Yeah, let's get that a little bit bigger. So remember to let people know that if you buy a TKO comic, that you
Yeah, it's
shop
gonna
at
be
Fantastic Comics. I don't know. I gotta, if anybody's interested in the store for me to order it because you like read the first issue, I'm happy to do it because there's a way for stores to get them in and then you don't have to deal with that. So if I can get a TKO fan base, I have no problem making that happen. There's some really good people. Jeff Lemire does one called Existence, I think. And oh, that's going way too far. Okay, excellent. Yeah, and there's a lot of other really good creators. I don't remember everybody, but the only thing I've heard, and I kind of have the feeling of this company, it feels kind of like.
All right, make sure are big now
Oh, okay, very good. Hold on,
because they're putting up pictures.
Oh, hold on. You gotta tell me that because I can't see it. So the only thing about this company is it feels like it's, I don't know, maybe they're trying to get a screenplay going through comic books or something like that. Is the one thing I've kind of heard about them. And I know you only have the one, but how do you feel about when you're reading this one? Is it kind of feel that way?
Anything, it feels like a movie that is kind of written to be an internal monologue for somebody going through and writing a war diary. So I could definitely understand if they're kind of getting towards a screenwriting kind of thing. But I mean, it's good. It makes it more personal than a lot of comics that just focus on the surface of what's being said, because the vast majority of this one is actually just her thoughts, and a lot of it she is not revealing to her command. So it goes back and forth on how do I say this? How much she actually has loyalties, and that affects how much her people feel about her and listen to her command. And it's just a back and forth. And it makes it really hard to keep track of what is being said sometimes, but it's a good read. It does definitely feel like a screenplay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's nothing necessarily wrong with that. Oh, let's go back in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a really pretty comic. They're in Russia in the winter, so there's lots and lots of snow, and with the snow, there's lots of blood, so there's lots of good contrast.
Yeah. There was a time when Steve Epting, he was doing Avengers, and like Tom Palmer would ink him, and I just really hated his work.
This is great Epting. I mean, honestly, this looks better than Captain America even.
Well, I was going to say that when he got on Captain America, at first it was like, what? You're going to put him on with Ed Brubaker? And he did a really great job. Very solid, him and Butch Guice.
Yeah. I
mean, way better than I ever imagined he could do.
Yeah, sure, but this is better than
Well,
that.
Did you see Velvet? Him and Ed Brubaker worked on that one also.
I did not see Velvet. Really.
That was about a spy that she was in like the office pool or office.
But
pool?
like he also did some Fantastic Four with Hickman.
Our boy Hickman, yeah.
And maybe even some New Avengers with Hickman.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. They cycled through a lot of artists on those New Avengers.
All right, let's. All right, Bruja.
Oh yeah, that looks so good. That looks great.
Yeah, it looks like a good book.
The art looks really good.
All right, let's do this one. Let's share screen. And Jeff, we're gonna go to you. I don't want to leave you out.
Uh-oh.
We only have a few pictures here, but you're going to tell us about Prince of Cats.
Oh. Oh, it's so good.
So Prince of Cats is by Wimberly. What's his first name?
Ron Wimberly.
Ron Wimberly. Wimberly.
So
Oh
good.
my God, this is so funny. He was doing. All right, so if I remember correctly, it was Javier Pulido was drawing She-Hulk with Charles Soule doing the writing. And it was awesome. Everybody loved it. Everybody came in and bought it. It was like our, really super hit in the store. And Wimberly took over for like a 2 or 3 issue arc, and whew,
I think it was 2.
people hated that. And I was like, he's really out there. He's really.
Here's the thing: people are stupid, and this is the same thing that people said, like, when the New Warriors. Remember when Scotty Young first came onto the New Warriors, and Zeb Wells and Scotty Young did the New Warriors thing, and everyone was like, "This is horrible. It looks disgusting."
Dude, people talk about Damian Scott.
And I'm like, it's so clean and delicious. Like, how can you look at that and not think it looks great? But I don't know. Like, that's because art is subjective. But at the same time, those people are objectively wrong. And this is beautiful.
Well, this is a lot more together and style. I mean, maybe She-Hulk was too stylized. I mean, he was really experimenting on that, and that's not what usually you want to do at a Marvel comic.
No, but that's true. But that was at one point. That is in the early Axel Alonso days. That is what you did at Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
That is what they did. They put Jim Mahfood on all sorts of stuff. Jim Mahfood did Marvel Comics, and very weird. I mean,
that one that he did with Spider-Man
time.
on the MTV Beach set.
Sure,
that was a really good one. All right, so tell me about Prince of Cats. This is Shakespeare, right? Cats.
It is Shakespeare. It is. It's Romeo and Juliet. But
wait, are you trying to make me learn or something like that?
No.
Okay, good.
No. I'm not trying to make you. I'm not trying to make you learn. That's the glory of this is it's multi-layered in its approach to Shakespeare. So it's giving you Shakespeare very in the dialogue, but then it's giving you samurai shit in the action sequences, but then it's giving you graffiti 1983 wild style graffiti sequences.
Nice.
In there also, and just amazing color palettes.
His color is nice.
Oh yeah, and
Image puts this out, right?
He did it all himself. They do now. This
do I have
this
to show
version?
something?
This version right here is this is the original. Well,
all right, that's the original.
This is the tiny original Vertigo.
Oh, paperback. I don't remember that. Was
Vertigo.
That a Kickstarter?
No, Vertigo 2012, baby.
2000. We must have had that. Then they lost that quick, huh?
Yeah, 2016 is when he republished it with
That's pretty quick.
With Image.
It's always interesting what they decide to go back to reprint and what they don't sometimes. It's a guessing game.
It's crazy. And I'm so happy that when it went to Image, then he blew it up huge. And it's an oversized paperback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not paperback. It's an oversized hardcover, and it's it's tall. It's huge. The art is so.
I have noticed gorgeous. The pages kind of have an odd odor to them. Have you ever noticed that or maybe they air out after a while, but when you unwrap it, it's like, whoa, it's like the ink must have a certain treatment or something to it.
Of the hardcover, of
Yeah.
the image. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I had
that's just
not
like
noticed that.
that's just a little something. I remember like we opened up, we were like, "Whoa, the ink! Some comics they get it." Uh, what am I looking at here? Oh, so this is more of the same, like the graffiti aspect of it.
Yeah, this is on the. He's in the subway. That's Mercutio.
Love
sitting
those
next to that.
angles. You're coming.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god,
that's
yeah. It's
nice.
everything about this book is so good. Like the like fake Shakespeare, like because so much of it takes place kind of before the action in Romeo and Juliet.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, so check this dude is one of the graffiti writers. And one of my huge pet peeves in comics is when there's like graffiti on the wall in a scene in a comic book and it looks like dog shit.
Garbage.
It doesn't look like real graffiti. And I'm like this is about, these dudes are graffiti artists and they are also samurais, and they're also in Brooklyn in 1983, and it's also Verona in 15 whatever. Like
Right.
it's all of it at the same time.
Well,
And like,
that's the concept of Shakespeare, that you can, there's no stage direction, right?
yeah, and like the dialogue is a combination of Shakespearean and 1983 whatever contemporary.
Is this going to be the
It's
most
great.
like
So
redone
good.
story, Romeo and Juliet? I mean, like,
but it's interesting because like it is, but like how many famous versions of it are there?
There's
like
a ton.
If you
it's
don't,
crazy.
if you, all right, how would like, okay, so what are they?
I don't know. Stop putting me on the spot.
All right.
Obviously, like West Side Story is like
fair.
number one, right?
Sure, but West Side Story is not super faithful.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, it is based on it, clearly, 100%.
Then, of course, there's Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare's one in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Or
the
90s,
one with the
I mean.
with the nudies. Oh, the
90s
Baz
one, I
Luhrmann.
mean.
Baz Luhrmann.
Is that like Flesh Gordon? Was there a Showtime version of Romeo and Juliet I don't know about?
No, I was thinking of the 70s version.
Oh yeah, the one they show you in like high school. It's not like
Yes.
that porny,
It's not very porny,
But I thought I
does
saw a
have,
booty or something. Right?
it does
I don't
have
remember what it is.
nudies. It's got nudies.
Come on now, I expect all of you to take this seriously. This is very important.
That's right.
What am I looking at here?
Oh, what are you looking at here?
Yeah, I don't know if you're looking at the screen.
Well, this is a famous scene. This is okay. So like, this is the opening scene, like Act 1, Scene 1 of Romeo and Juliet, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes place like 100 pages or so into this book. It's a minor scene toward the end of the book, but it's very faithful.
That's cool.
In dialogue.
Yeah.
And like,
so
the character
I heard
design is so good. He does like so many different like weird crossover design styles between like, 80s hip hop movie.
Do you know if the
all these Japanese styles?
Do you know if all the writing is like, obviously like the language is different, but not the style of the the words? Is it like that throughout the entire thing, or?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's stylistically like it sounds like there are parts like this scene in particular
Yeah.
is almost verbatim lifted from Shakespeare, but
Mhm.
there are scenes that are like that. But for the most part, it's just like he's just writing in this very Shakespearean style that also has these like
This is hilarious right
that
here. This
has
biting
the
of the thumb bit.
oh yeah
Do
that's
you
all
bite the thumb?
Shakespeare.
I do. Do you
Yeah,
bite it? I do.
that's straight Shakespeare.
That's great.
But like so he writes in that kind of style, and it's
Mhm.
funny like that, and has all the and he layers all these different meanings. Like he's doing a very Shakespearean style of writing. It's really really good, and then the action is amazing. Like he's when they start to chopping, it's crazy. Like he's you know Tybalt is the main character of this book, and he's just like chopping fools up nonstop. And Mercutio is also chopping fools up nonstop. It's great.
All right. Excellent.
It's really great.
So, Prince of Cats, everybody, that is a book to check out. All right. We're back.
check.
Oh, here. Oh, let me put you good. Big. Show us a few more pages.
Oh, look at that.
And Jeff, you send me a few more and I'll put them together and then we'll chop that up and it'll look beautiful. Look beautiful.
Oh, look at
Dude, it's, oh my God, that guy's arm is just chopped up. That other one you showed me, that guy's leg was like severed. Oh my God, the guy's eyeball? Oh.
yeah, it's good stuff. It's great.
Excellent. All right. All right, let me
Highly
show you.
recommend.
Okay, I'm going to show you my show and tell. Okay, here we go.
Please tell me.
All right, I've been reading Ether, everybody.
Tell me.
I'm a big Matt Kent fan.
Always have been.
He's done Mind Management, which was a Dark Horse comic book. He's worked at Valiant, and the only books I've ever read are his for the most part. Oh, Venditti also.
Didn't he do a weird thing where he burned? He had some comic where he
Yeah,
had
this
to
guy's a
burn it.
nutball.
All right,
He
tell
does his
that
own
story because I need to hear that.
So he does his own original graphic novel. So if you want to get specific, an original graphic novel is for the first time ever in that format, not an issue form. So Ether here is an issue of a comic book, and then you collect it in a hardcover or a trade paperback. Or if you just want to say what everybody else says, a graphic novel. So I'm specifically talking about an OGN. And he will take his books and he will burn specific pages so that it has an authentic quality to it that you can't ever duplicate. He'll burn that, but it will be different, each time. And at first, if you don't know that he's going to do that in a store, you might watch out. He doesn't quite warn you necessarily. That's not true. He did. But it was funny. And anyway, I'm a big Matt Kent fan. He does really cool spy type stuff, and Black Badge is another book that I'm really into that he did. It was again another spy book, or it's about Boy Scouts or Scouts, I should say, and they all have different colors, and each color represents a different thing, a discipline that they're good at. And the black badges none of them are the best at any one thing, but they're all very good in everything. And so we're following the black badge, and there's all sorts of like espionage, and they run government, run government missions because no one's gonna get a Boy Scout troop in trouble. Ether by David Rubin. These guys also have a Kickstarter that finished. It's called Cosmic Detective, and they're working with Jeff Lemire on that. Jeff Lemire and Matt Kent are, they're different. They're good friends. They're from different countries, but brothers from different mothers. That's type thing.
You're saying Matt Kent is an American?
Yeah, he's an American.
Where's
I think he is. He lives in St. Louis. He likes the Cardinals, for God's sakes.
Cool.
Jesus.
God bless the USA, but hey.
I know, exactly. So these are the covers. So I, like a lot of people, sometimes don't read everything that I buy. And when it's Matt Kent, I kind of feel like I want to have a lot more. And although I don't binge them all in a row, I will intersperse these comic books with the other things so I have something to look forward to.
Ooh.
So there have been 3 volumes of Ether, and I only just started reading the first one right here. And it's beautifully illustrated by David Rubin. This guy's really good. And it's all about this guy, Boone, who can travel to this other land.
Boone?
And, yeah, he has to, like the Strawberry Hill. Boones. Anyway.
Like the farm? Yeah, gotcha.
Exactly. Here he is getting ready to go into the ether. And wait, man, are my pictures all messed up?
Get teenagers drunk. Oh,
I didn't want to show you too much. Anyway, it's nice. It's very fanciful. This guy is basically the Darwin of this universe.
Darwin.
So he's going and he's cataloging it. He runs missions over here. He lives most of his life over here. And as this first miniseries plays out in some flashback scenes, you see how dedicated he actually is to be doing this at the expense of his entire family. So when he comes on over here to the ether, a week might pass, or an hour might pass over here, but it's, weeks on Earth, or maybe even years. I forget how it works out. And he is, he investigates this murder of the Blaze. And he always uses science to rationalize everything that's going on. But this is a planet or a place of magic and mystery, and they write spells and do all this other stuff. But, he's kind of a pompous ass about it. And he's he's trying to check out this murder, and he notices this bullet that he finds, and it's like a magic bullet. And they have to go and try and figure out where it comes from. And it's just a really nice little series. I like it. It kind of gets a lot more personal when you get the flashback scenes and you see what an utter asshole he really is. He's kind of just like fun, saying, "Oh, science, I can solve everything with science over in Magic Land." But when he comes back to the present day and he ends up in Italy, he has to steal food because he can't eat over in the ether. So he usually only comes back home when he's hungry. And
hey, I can relate.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only reason why I ever come back home. I'm hungry. And so here's the first flashback where you meet the woman that he ultimately marries. And there's a whole reason why she approaches him here that you find out later on. And it's all very cool, and I like it a lot. And these are good characters. On the backs of the comic books, these are things that Matt Kent makes it important to buy his issues even more than his collections, because he'll have things in them that he's not going to give you in those other things. And a lot of times they're a lot more expensive. So here's like the makeup of some of the animals in the ether. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm like, he's the Darwin of this. And he's like a liaison for the world to go on over there and deal with them, because we don't want their stuff coming in and over here.
No.
Which of course is exactly what happens at the end of the first series.
Who did you say was the artist on that?
David Rubin.
David Rubin.
Yeah, he's done. What's that one with the Image comic book with the guy who destroys the demons? And it's that Harrow guy does it, and then David Rubin did it also. Do you remember that book? Anyway, I've given you enough information to go out there and figure it out.
I was going to say, it reminds me of this one, Dissonance.
Let me see. Dissonance. Maybe. Who does that?
It is art by Sammy Basiri.
Oh, let's take a look.
And
show us.
That's It's got a lot of the same kind of like clean fantasy going on.
Mm-hmm.
All those bright ass colors.
Show me another page. Okay, I'm going to end with this one also. Let me do this before we go, or before we go into another one. We'll do this.
There we go.
No, let's do this first.
Rumble. Is Rumble the comic you're talking about?
Rumble is the comic I'm talking about. Way to go, Jeff.
I do actually have that one.
Yeah, no problem.
Rumble is pretty okay. I just don't like all my fantasy mixing in with like kind of current day stuff.
Yeah, no, you don't, but I do like that, especially the James Heron times. That's why I got into it, and that's what, when you said Heron, that made me think, oh, wait. I think I know what you're talking about. I didn't know that he took over that book, though, because I stopped reading it after James Heron left, so I didn't know.
So I've been reading Satellite Sam recently also. This is an Image comic book.
Oh, I forgot that you're a sick fucking sex pervert freak.
I'm usually into sex a little bit, yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, cool.
I mean, you know, whatever.
Sounds good. You and Howard Chaykin should get along.
Well, I'll have you know, Matt Fraction's the person who wrote this. In fact, Howard Chaykin very rarely does art for anybody other than himself these days.
That's right. But when he heard that there was some sick, freaky, sexy shit to get down on, he was like, sign me up. Give me that Matt Fraction money. Because this was at a time when Matt Fraction was in the good... Hot. He was hot. He was hot to trot.
He could do it all.
He could do little wrong.
Yeah, he probably still can't do anything wrong.
Well, I haven't heard much from him.
What are you talking about? He's doing. He's been what? What you mean? He's been silent on the social media?
I don't know. I mean, he's not even on it, is he? I mean, he's not.
Have no idea.
Exactly.
I
He
think,
silent. He is silent. He remains silent.
He's probably smart. In fact, Sean Gordon Murphy, who's Indiegogo just ended or is ending this night, said after that he's off Twitter altogether. He's like, I'm out. I'm gonna do Instagram, and that's it. I'm just gonna show my pretty pictures. Anyhow, Matt Fraction over here is writing Satellite Sam, and Howard Chaykin is drawing it. So far, I haven't really gotten to the entirety of the kinky sex stuff or where it actually is going to end up leading. So it is slowly being doled out. But basically, the story is we are watching a TV station in like the 50s. And everybody's favorite show is Satellite Sam. And as they're going to broadcast and it's live, they're like, where is this guy? Where is this guy? Where is Satellite Sam? And they're all talking about it. And, you know, they're all having all these conversations in the background.
And where is he?
And where is he? And, you know, this guy's being handsy and, you know, all this other information is going on.
It's black and white.
It is black and white.
You know how I love that. And I do think that Howard Chaykin is a great... I mean, I appreciate his style. I think he's a great stylist.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't always do it for me. He uses a lot of... I don't know. I guess he's kind of Gil Kane in a sense, so I do like part of it. But his line work is kind of funky. It's not, or maybe the scratchy aspect of it. It's like it's not Sienkiewicz, but it kind of is.
It kind of is.
And I don't want to say that they're doing the same. And like, I'm not saying that he's like, you know, borrowing or anything like that. I'm just saying there's elements of other things that I like, but it's not being done all the way, which is fine because, you know, this is undeniably Howard Chaykin. You know, you know Howard Chaykin when you see Howard Chaykin, always.
Hey, and I always love an artist who has a distinctive style, even if I don't love that style. But in this case, I do actually really like Howard Chaykin's style. But you know, I appreciate the fact that I appreciate the fact that Rob Liefeld has a style. Even though I don't like it, it's not for me. But that's great.
So this lady has to go and check on the star, and she goes to this apartment or hotel, and she goes
Holiday
and
Inn?
runs in. And I love the way, Howard Chaykin does this a lot. He uses the same static image, and he just moves a few things around in it, and it's really nice. So obviously she saw something horrible. What did she see? And then the son of the man, who is Satellite Sam, has to go to the go and say, that's his father who's dead. And this is where the story really begins, because there's all this TV station shenanigans that are going on. People are trying to steal other people and go to other places. So, not everybody's happy with the network, and they're just trying to move on up. And so here's the son going to this guy's apartment, his dad's apartment. He's looking around, he's drinking, and he goes to examine everything as he's cleaning up, and he notices in the floorboard, or not in the floorboard, but under the mattress, there's some boxes. And what's in the boxes? I guess they're nudes. I guess ultimately there's probably some nudes, but at least ladies in lingerie. And there's one that he actually recognizes. And here he is drinking. And this is a nice page. I like this a lot. And you can see all the ladies behind him who are who've been having pictures taken of them, and his dad's involved in this. So that's pretty cool. This is very reminiscent of who? Anybody?
Sickening.
Do you know who this is reminiscent of? What famous actor?
A famous actor?
No idea.
That'd be Bob Crane, everybody.
Oh.
Bob Crane was a sick fuck.
Well, yeah.
He was a perv.
What about...
He was going and making movies and doing all sorts of stuff, and he ended up dead. Dead, I tell you.
Sure. I saw the movie. I saw the movie about it.
Oh, really? What movie was that? Do you know? Don't worry about it.
I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it definitely had the guy from E who played Bob Crane. Yikes! I can't.
Skunk Boy?
No, the guy before him.
Greg Kinnear?
Greg Kinnear, yeah. Greg Kinnear was in it. Yeah.
So he recognized one of the women in the pictures, and he goes to confront her about it. And he's like, "Look, I got this picture of you. So tell me everything." And she talks about this time. Oh, anyway, I actually skipped a bit. Anyway, this is pretty good. I like this. Look, here's more of that scene, that type of style, where he's just taking the one static image and he's just kind of moving the characters in there. And it's this is a big thing where this guy's got to take this lady to some award ceremony, and he's just tripping out on the fact that he pointed the camera at a television screen and it's getting these crazy staticky images. And I'm not quite sure if this is actually going to play a thing, or what, but it gets him so entranced that she's like, "Yep, I'm out of here." And he's still stuck on it, and he's doing it again. Boom. And finally he's like, "Oh, I got to get the hell out of here." Anyway, he goes to the club where she's going to be at. Oh, that's what it was, a club. And here he is getting beat up, and again, another the imagery. Really nice stuff.
See, all this is what makes me think that Matt Fraction wrote this essay like he clearly wrote a story that he thought that Howard Chaykin would want to draw, or
yeah, sure, definitely.
Like the story that he imagined that he could, if he was going to write a Howard Chaykin story, what it would be like.
Well, I know I'm going to make sure there's some nudity, and ladies probably in their late 30s or early 50s or something like that. Feels like, no matter what, that's the lady that he always draws.
Sure.
You know, Black Kiss. They're vampires, but they look like they're in their 40s, you know. They're sexy, don't get me wrong. And you know what? Gravity never affects his old ladies, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did feel that way as far as Matt Fraction. He's like, I got Howard Chaykin, and we all know he loves drawing boobs, so I'm gonna make sure I write a story that's gonna take advantage of all that.
No, it just feels like the type of thing that it was like this was in the you know, the high, you know, they met each other, they had some drinks at the bar. Actually, I don't think Matt Fraction drinks, so maybe they didn't drink. But they definitely met each other at a con, and then came up with this. Like he was like, "I would love to write a story for you, Howard Chaykin, and here's the idea that I came up with." And he's like, "Yeah, well, all right, fair. This is right up my alley." I'm not gonna lie.
I dig it.
Yeah.
So I think the story is going really well. I've read the first 3 or 4 issues worth, and it's slowly unfolding, which is nice. There's 3 volumes in total, and I think I'm down for the entire series. There's no reason to jump off right now. The thing is like I'm just trying to see where this is all going to tie up, you know, and if they can string me on long enough to the very end, they'll have done a really good job. So those are the comics I've been reading. I've been doing a lot of black and white, a lot of independent stuff. I'm going through a ton of it. I've been reading Grips. I'm done with that now. Yeah, Grips. That was a Tim Vigil comic. I have some Faust in the garage. If you like penises being severed and sex and machine guns.
How about something like this?
Space Riders.
Oh, I love Space
Riders.
Riders.
Art is great. I like that.
Yeah. Space Riders. Fucking awesome.
Right.
All right. But just to let you know, there have been a few mainstream comic books that I've been reading. I've been reading 90s Steel by Christopher Priest and Dennis Cohen.
Yes. Is that
that's
a mainstream comic?
So good. It's so amazing. I love that book. And I've been reading, what else have I been reading? Suicide Squad by Tom Taylor. Holy cow. That's been really good. I have a bunch of pictures that I'm going to probably make a video on, or maybe next week we'll talk about it. The Discipline. That's some kinky stuff. Unfortunately, there's not more to it. Yeah. Peter Milligan and Leandro Fernandez.
Yeah.
Leandro. It's steamy.
I like Leandro Fernandez. The first time I ever saw him, I think, or noticed him, I guess, was on Hulk. He did some Hulk stuff back in the day with Bruce Jones, maybe.
He totally did. That book is
Absorbing Man.
That book is yeah. It's worthy of a conversation, is what I think it is. Because
I love the freckles in that book, I have to say.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Oh man, it's hot. It's one of the hottest comics that's come out in like the last decade, I think. But you know, it's a question about whether or not she's actually in control of her situation. But I mean, that is exactly what the whole book is. It's like a whole S&M kink thing. So if you're not down with that type of story, then, you know, this is definitely not the type of book for you. And it's not finished, but it's so good looking. When she's going, oh man. And you know what? Just to let you know, there's a supernatural tinge to it also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like that one a lot. That's probably like my last favorite thing that Peter Milligan's written. He did, you know what? He did another one for Vertigo. I forget what it was called, but this dude commits suicide. And his trophy wife doesn't believe it. And she gets together with his, like, 20-year-old autistic son, basically. And they go and try and solve the murder. I forget what that one was called, but that was a good one. I think it was called Numbers. Or The Numbers, or... It's all about, like, playing the numbers and ruling society Illuminati style or something like that.
Black Monday.
No, that's different. But I haven't read that one. That's also not finished. And it's Hickman. Yeah, that one's gets nasty.
It's funny because I read the back cover of a book recently. I can't remember what it was, but it really was like I was like, oh, Jonathan Hickman read this book before he wrote Black Monday Murders.
Jonathan Hickman. Can we list his what books he's read before he wrote something? Is that going to be a thing, really?
Well, I mean, whatever.
All the time?
That's the same thing. Like, I mean, there are
at least do Romeo and Juliet, dude. Come on.
Lots of writers do. Yeah, or go Alan Moore and at the back of your book write a 75-page appendix that has all of your bibliography, all of your many referenced works. That was great. I mean, I gotta say,
it was great.
Sold a lot of books. The appendices to From Hell.
So what do you guys think? Did our brand new group, did we do pretty good? And we talked about comics and stuff like that? Oh yeah, we'll do
We're talking about comics.
We should do anything that would be truly independent. So circulation of 3,000 type stuff. Yeah, Mesmo also, that's good. Oh nice.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, didn't Warrior Nun Ariella?
Yeah.
Didn't that get a Netflix treatment or something like that?
Did it?
I could be wrong, but I think it might have.
Oh, I mean,
I know Old Guard did, right?
Friggin' Prince of Cats got bought 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Lakeith Stanfield was supposed to be playing Tybalt. It was supposed to be, but didn't. It has not so far happened.
What one is that? Widow what?
Widow Made in Britain. I don't even know what studio is this?
I don't know. It almost looks like your symbol when you go off screen. Oh my. Oh my. Bad Girl comics were really popular. Hold on a second. Let me get that big. Oh, that's pretty sweet.
That's good stuff.
Well, not necessarily good.
90s
but
stuff.
I was just going to say, Bad Girl's crazy 90s stuff was I don't know, it was kind of trashy, but now that it doesn't get made anymore, it's kind of well, that's good. Number one. But also, it's kind of man, I can't believe that it doesn't get made anymore. I've bought a whole bunch of stuff lately that I'm God, I just got to get the other issues. Hold on a second. Let me get that. What is that? It's a Far Side strip. All right. Anyway, let me say goodbye to everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into another episode. We'll be back again at you next Tuesday at 8 o'clock Pacific. We'll be talking comic books, and we'll be talking independence maybe, and just kind of continue this conversation about what you do when you're not so into the big two. Because, like I said, all this time, Marvel's not really bringing back their regular series right now. It's all event-based driven, and DC, although they have a whole bunch of stuff, it's super Batman heavy. And eventually you got to be man, can I keep going with this? Can I? Or do I have to cleanse my palate somehow? And what do I do it with? And so we've offered you a few items to take a look at.
I would suggest you cleanse your palate with a refreshing LaCroix. Let's
try and get that sponsor.
Call me. I'm your LaCroix boy. Your boy LaCroix coming at you. Hashtag Call me LaCroix. Or Charles Shaw, yeah. The $2 truck with the cork on the inside.
So don't forget, you can always hit up Fantastic Comics at 1708A MLK Jr. Way. Our hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 5. You can check us out on eBay. We have an Instagram account. I sometimes tweet through our store account. And there's all sorts of... there's Facebook. We've streamed over there right now. And yeah, all that stuff. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to say goodnight. And thank you very much. Bye.
Good night.
You're